Good morning, Mets fans, and welcome to a Thursday edition of Driving with Mr. Met. And while the Mets did not lose last night to the Nationals, they didn't play last night. Rain delay, rain out, turned into a night off for the Metropolitans. So the Mets were off last night, but fortunately for all of us, Mets Twitter was not. And Mets Twitter was hysterical, and I'm actually going to fly up two really funny tweets from last night, which made me laugh, and sort of are a microcosm of the Mets' success or lack thereof against the Nationals. So that's very funny stuff, and that aside, since there was no game last night, I have no game to talk about. But in the excitement of the holiday weekend and everything, and the holiday earlier this week and a couple of days off, I forgot to touch on the All-Star game and the selection of Michael Conforto to his first of what will hopefully be many All-Star teams for the National League. Conforto was voted in by the players, so he's a reserve. The failed hashtag Write In Conforto campaign didn't work, and we'll see if the Nats have any better luck with their hashtag Vote for Rendon campaign they've got going on right now. I, for one, am hopeful that Justin Turner is the fan vote, because as much as I might dislike watching him dismantle the Mets, he's batting close to 400 right now. So, and yes, he did miss a good chunk of the season, but dude, he deserves to be an All-Star. Touching on deserving to be an All-Star, I want to talk about a couple of comments. Actually, let me get to that in a second. Let me wrap up with the Mets All-Star selection. So, as I said, it was Conforto. I feel badly for Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce is having a really good, quietly good first half. He's remained on the field, which I think is all-star worthy as a Met player in and of itself. But he's put up some really great numbers, and it's unfortunate that whatever is happening in baseball is happening to make the ball fly out of every stadium, off of every bat, as routinely as it's doing this year, because it's sort of undermining how good of a start Jay Bruce has been off to. His 21 home runs and 57, I think, RBIs are in the top, among the top 10 for both home runs and RBIs in the National League. That's great. Good for Jay. His batting average is up over his career average, which, again, great for him. I feel really happy for Jay Bruce. He's been a bright spot in this not so bright season. So I wanted to just kind of comment on Jay Bruce and sort of tip the cap and be a little bit sad for the fact that he did not make the All-Star team. Another guy who I feel badly about is Jacob deGrom. Short those two terrible starts that Jake had this year, he's been really fantastic, particularly his last 4 starts. He's just been lights out. He is all-star worthy, and again, it's unfortunate that he was on the bubble and left off of the team. That said, though, I don't think a terrible team, to be honest, the Mets have played terribly. I don't think a terrible team should have a large contingent of players at the All-Star game. So it sort of matches up correctly there. Excuse me. So back to what I was going to say about the All-Star game and about particularly the Home Run Derby. I got to give an awful lot of credit to Logan Morrison from the Tampa Bay Rays, who put on his Honey Badger hat, and he ain't taking no shit from no one. Logan Morrison really lashing out at MLB for inserting Gary Sanchez into the Home Run Derby. Lomo made a couple of really good points on Twitter, and he's not wrong. I mean, his comment about, I remember when I had 14 home runs 5 weeks ago, that was hysterical, and it's spot on. And it's just proof positive, and as he went on to point out about MLB, that MLB does cater to the large market. period. It wants to have 2 Yankees in there, big flashy players. So whatever, the All-Star game is meaningless. The Home Run Derby is even more meaningless. But I give a lot of props to Logan Morrison for speaking his mind and talking out about the fact that he got the snub and he probably ought to be in there instead of Gary Sanchez. He does have probably twice the number of home runs that Sanchez has at this point. So that's going to be it for today. Really quick video, absent the game last night. I'm going to do another video tomorrow, and I'll focus on a couple of the predictions that I made heading into the season. I made a couple of predictions, and I want to talk about a few of them tomorrow. See how right or wrong I was. I think I was wrong a lot, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. So until then, as always, I thank you for watching the video. If you're not already doing so, please follow me on Twitter at Mr_Met. And as always, let's go Mets.